at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhalgh and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, pet parents. With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
Come join American Furniture Warehouse and see our amazing deals on sofas, sectionals, recliners, bedroom furniture and mattresses, dining room furniture and accessories. AFW has the latest styles, largest selection, and lowest prices anywhere. Our warehouses are full and ready for you to take your new furniture home today. At American Furniture Warehouse, you'll find the perfect items for your space at a price you'll love. Visit one of our 3 Phoenix area showrooms or shop online at afw.com. afw.com.
When life gets overwhelming, but you just don't feel like talking, help is only a text away. Trained and caring crisis specialists are available by text 24/7 to assist with suicidal thoughts, substance use issues, depression, anxiety, and more. You are never alone. When you need help, please text HOPE to 4HOPE. From anywhere in Arizona, text the word HOPE to 44673. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
Going to college and not acquiring debt is possible with the help of the U.S. Army. You'll be able to choose the career you want and receive help to pay for your full tuition. There are also reimbursements for student loans and GI Bill benefits. In the U.S. Army, your mission will be to learn. Learn how you can be all you can be at goarmy.com/AIA Sports. That's goarmy.com/AIA Sports.
Jeffrey O'Brien here, and congratulations. You just made it through the hottest summer in Arizona history. No lie. The only proof you need is in that electric bill. If you don't have solar, I wonder how bad it's going to get next year. You need to call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
KQFN AM Tempe, K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM, K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Listen to Jim Rome and the Jungle, weekday mid-mornings on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic, live from the Harmon Solar Studios.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And yes, I told you so. I told you so. Told you.
You told me?
I told everybody. I told the world. I said that yesterday. I said the Suns go down to scrub, Spurs team with Wembanyama out and get horrifically embarrassed. So yeah, they'll probably go ahead and beat the Denver Nuggets just to keep us confused. And what happened? We're all confused. They absolutely did exactly what I said they would, and they beat the Denver Nuggets at home.
Played a good game. Nurkic. Yeah, played a game.
Now, I get it. There were injuries. There were people who were Jamal Murray was gone, and Jokic had some back pain, that sort of thing. But yeah, we had our own injuries as well. But I'm just saying, doesn't matter. We will never figure these guys out. When they're supposed to win, they're going to lose. When they're supposed to lose, they're going to win. It's Bizarro Suns, and I have no idea what's going to happen next.
They-
They're playing OKC. What is that? Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And OKC is a really good team. Like they don't have
Yeah.
any below 500 teams left on the schedule. I
Yeah,
believe they're the only team in the league
Yeah.
with that. So
They have the hardest schedule down the stretch.
Yep.
you know,
And now we're in 7th place. Woo! Who knows what'll happen tomorrow?
yeah. I think with the Suns, when you said that they were going to beat the Nuggets, just like, yeah, they have the same problem they've always had. They're up and down to the level of their competition. The Nuggets make you raise your game, so the Suns play better. And I think the way that they have been capable of playing, but you got to get that performance consistency, because if you get to the playoffs and you take a game off mentally, or you get up 20 points and you think it's over, it's not.
Well, but it is nice.
It is nice. I'll
that
take
they
it.
beat the Denver Nuggets last 2 times they played them. They're the only team who've beaten the Nuggets except for somebody else. They've only lost 3 games in 18 attempts. So in the last 18 games, they've only lost 3 games, and 2 of them were to the Suns. I don't know who the other team is. Don't care.
And I do believe the Suns are the only team to beat Denver in Denver twice this year.
Oh, it was both times in Denver.
Yeah.
Suck it, Denver.
Denver does not lose at home very often. So the fact that you can go in there and win, and you've got your starting center out, and Drew Eubanks played a lot of minutes. Not the biggest Drew Eubanks fan, but he played really good defense against Jokic, and that was important, huge.
I don't know what to expect. I don't know what is real. I have no idea what is going on. And I don't think we're going to know until the very last game that the Suns play this year, no matter where it is. Is it in the play-in? Is it in the playoffs? Is it in the finals? Who knows? I can't say. Can't say it won't be. Can't say it will be. I have absolutely no idea. And neither do you. If you say you do, you're lying.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say
I don't
that.
think anybody does.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that.
The possible range of outcomes for the Suns in the postseason is incredibly wide. If they play to what the floor of this team is, they're not going anywhere. If they play to what the ceiling is, the sky's the limit.
So let me ask you. So is there a chance they find themselves out of the play-in? I mean, I guess there is in the other direction just as much as there is that they'll be one of the top 6. I don't care for this, to be honest.
Yeah, they're separated by a game and half a game with a lot of the teams ahead of and behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like the reason why that Spurs game was huge is because you just dropped a game that could have easily padded that for you, and now you've got to figure out how to make this work and fend off other teams. And I'm not saying the Suns should play this way, but at least you've got the fans looking at the standings every day and going, well, what are the scenarios here? They've made it difficult on themselves, but there is a chance they can get out of it. Yeah.
So presumably, one way or the other, we're going to be in the playoffs, whether it's a play-in or the playoffs. Whatever the case, we should sort of stay in that range, right?
I would imagine, but the problem is we're playing the Thunder here. You said tomorrow night, Friday night. We play the Pelicans on Monday. Then
Good
Wednesday.
Pelicans team, by the way.
When the hell did Zion get to the gym? I missed that. All of a sudden, he's chubby Zion, and then all of a sudden, he's like, I'm going to kill your family, Zion.
Last couple of months with Zion, he's done everything the Pelicans have asked him to do. They've been playing a lot of Zion at point guard, which is alarmingly effective. And
that's odd.
It's odd, but he's a really good passer, so it works. And then he starts the offense, and he usually finishes it at the rim. He moves really well when he's away from the ball, so he gets everything going. Yeah, Zion has made the Pelicans actually a terrifying problem.
We in the next 9 games, we face the Timberwolves twice, including the last game of the season.
Not fun.
We face the Pelicans twice, and we face the Clippers back to back on a Tuesday, April 9th and Wednesday, April 10th. One game is here, one game in LA. And then we play the Kings, who we're battling with right now for that play-in spot.
So how many do you think you are going to win, guys? I mean, if you had to take a look at those games, how many we win, how many we lose?
Well, I don't know. This is a crushing schedule down there. Just crushing.
We could find ourselves completely out of this.
I mean, yeah, if you lose all the games, which I don't think is going to happen.
So give me a number.
I hate doing stuff like this because I don't know. Like we know what the Suns are.
Nobody remembers. Nobody's going to remember.
Well, not the fourth dimension.
It would be hard to win every game, especially when you're playing 3 teams six times. You're playing three teams 6 times.
Like you could split the Clippers series, maybe.
You could split this. I mean, it could be 5-4 or 4-5.
I think the best possible outcome that's realistic, because they're not running the table. They just don't play consistent basketball enough.
Right.
But the best possible outcome is, if you split with Minnesota and split with LA and beat everybody else, you'll probably be okay.
Suns are 6-4 in their last 10 games.
Remember when the Bulls had Michael Jordan and you they'll run the table. They always run a table. The tables get run. We would. What is the team right now that you were like, oh, they could run the table? Is it the Nuggets because we just beat them?
I don't feel that good. I don't feel that good about anybody in the Western Conference.
Right?
No.
Who do you feel good about for running the table? Anyone at all?
See, the Suns and the Kings have the same record in the last 10 games. They're 6-4. The Timberwolves are 7-3 in their last 10. The Thunder is 7-3. The Clippers, we have a chance of taking both those. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games.
Clippers are kind of floundering a little bit right now and losing their identity a little. Also dealing with some nagging injuries, which they've got the same problem, honestly, that the Suns have, where the guys that are there are good when they're playing. So that's the Clippers issue.
And don't look now. Here come the Lakers. 7-3.
I'm not going to look. I don't want to see those ugly
now.
faces.
By the way, the Lakers talk we bleeped out yesterday, I replaced on the podcast with the SpongeBob dolphin noises. So
that's even better. Even better.
So
I was ripping on Arizona yesterday, and I didn't read his text. I didn't get a chance to, but Wilbur was like, "You are not funny, Jeffrey O'Brien." I guess it came from Wilbur. It felt really good. It's just the same to me. It's the same as a laugh. I don't mind.
Yeah.
So last night, we're not the only ones wondering, where are we going to be? Are we going to be a play-in? Are we going to be in a playoff? Well, the Warriors are just struggling to be a play-in. And every game counts. Every game matters. And then clown-ass Draymond Green gets himself ejected. And, of course, this was kind of weird. Steph Curry just starts crying. Starts weeping into his towel. And then he's just like, let's go get him. And he didn't do very well in the game, but he did close it out.
Yeah.
But it was who's the other guy? Wilson, William. But who's that on the team there? The guy who actually did the real work for the Warriors. Yeah, somebody else actually picked up the cause. And Steph didn't have a great game, and then Draymond Green out. And I don't know what it is that team.
Andrew Wiggins actually had a really good game. Yeah.
So that's kind of weird. By the way, we're talking. This is gotta be Draymond Green's last season. This has to be. He needs to go home.
I usually don't say this about legends. I usually think that if you're a legend in the game, because you only get a chance to do this one time in your life,
right,
play as long as you want to, and as long as people will continue to give you paychecks. But Draymond got to go.
He's about to kill a guy. He's about to be the first guy to kill a guy on the court. You know what I mean?
Because
he's just about to snap.
And he didn't do anything this time in terms of a physical altercation. It was all verbal this time. But to get yourself ejected from a game 3.5 minutes into the game, which, by the way, isn't even his best time.
Well, it wasn't as bad as Kelly Oubre. You a bitch, you a bitch, you a bitch, your mama's a bitch, your daddy's a bitch, your grandma's a bitch, your face is a bitch, that girl over there's a bitch, you're a bitch to the referees. Oh my God.
The game was already over, but to be fair to Kelly Oubre,
how has he not already been fined or suspended?
I think because the league feels bad. Like because the game was over.
You think Silver's sitting there and saying, well, to be fair, but all those referees, I do know their wives, I know their moms, I know their grandmothers, and he was correct. They are all bitches.
I think the league knows that they screwed up because it was not just that he did that. He did it at the end of the game. He drove to the basket twice. He got clobbered.
Mm-hmm.
They beat this guy up mid-air. He got fouled like 3 times before he hit the ground.
They should have arrested those guys for assault. That's how bad it was.
Yeah. Well, and then the referees swallowed the whistle. Game's over. And Kelly Oubre was just, it all got to his head. You could just see him on the ground, just losing it.
Well, Kevin Scott was the crew chief, and he did at least admit, I am a bitch. And my mom is a bitch, and my grandma's a bitch, and all my friends here, we're all bitches.
I
So at
didn't
least they
hear
did
him
admit that.
say anything like that.
Well,
It was-
Well,
I heard him admit that they blew the call at the end of the game. but
that's what I heard.
didn't hear anybody saying my mom's a bitch.
Well, listen, here's what he
and
said.
so's my dad and my
On
grandma.
the last play on the floor in
Reading the
real
article,
time,
Yeah.
the crew of bitches interpreted that the play as the
Uh-huh.
defender jumped vertically. However, in
Ah.
post-game video
Yeah.
review, us bitches did observe
Nah, see, I
some
didn't-
slight drift to his left
Where
by defender
Can
Paul
I get
George,
the
and a
link on
foul
that
should have been
one?
ruled by
I-
all
I
us
mean,
bitches.
CC, look this up
He
here.
didn't keep full verticality. He drifted to his left directly into Oubre while he was shooting. In real time, you could see this. That was not a foul, just in slow motion.
The thing I loved in real time is because here's Oubre just full Michael Douglas and falling down right there.
Yeah.
You a bitch, and he's right next to him, and he's mad too. He's not saying stop, don't. He's just like, yeah, what he said.
I concur.
Nah.
So maybe Nick Nurse ends up getting fined as well for this.
Just for being accomplice.
You just
Well, I
aiding
mean,
and
do you
abetting.
blame Nick Nurse, though? I mean,
don't blame him.
Good
If you can't do
night.
it.
They should have hauled him off in handcuffs. That's how bad those fouls were.
I mean, and that was he was mad about the second no call. The first no call was egregious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the
It's
first one.
terrible.
So
They
somebody
didn't
had
just
money
miss
on the
one.
video.
They missed both of them.
Somebody had the money. Anyway, so that's what's going on in the NBA. Oh, this is interesting. So the Timberwolves surprise everybody, right? Because they sucked before, and then now they're like, hey, we're pretty good. In fact, we're really good. And the owner was just in the middle of selling to A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, Mark Lore, a couple other guys. And he's just said, oh, wait, what's going on here? We're winning? Hey, guys, just kidding. Not selling. Sorry. Bye-bye. There will be lawsuits. But he says, nope, I've decided not to sell. I don't want to sell. These guys, they missed some deadlines on some things. So I'm keeping the team there. And during the time he was trying to, make this happen, all of a sudden, Phoenix Sun sells for $4 billion. And the valuation of things has gone up. So whatever deal they had before, he needed to get out of this. So Glenn Taylor did. And so he's no longer selling. I don't know how the Minnesota fans feel about this, but he has decided, oh, wait, it's more valuable. I think I'll keep it. Gonna just keep it. I don't know. Is he a villain in this, or can you blame him?
Can't blame him.
Can't blame him. And he had a deadline, and the deadline passed.
Mm-hmm.
So just genuinely, if they were either more serious or were able to get the backing they were looking for by the deadline, if he had backed out at that point, okay,
right?
Yeah, but he gave him a deadline. They didn't meet the deadline. He's keeping the team.
Bet you there's still a lawsuit.
I mean,
but
the people
on what
involved
ground,
are
though?
petty enough, but
on the grounds that J-Rod is very petty.
Okay,
you can
all right.
see it.
I mean, it's Alex Rodriguez.
I mean,
I happen to
sure.
think that he's a little bit more
What did I call
orange
him?
than petty, but
Oh, A-Rod. What do you call him?
you said J-Rod.
Oh, sorry.
Probably because of the J-Lo A-Rod.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You
so
combine them.
Big George is on the text line. Says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Thursday. Wow, these Phoenix Suns have my head spinning trying to figure them out. One day they're up, one day they're down. Reminds me of this girl I used to date who's schizophrenic. Is today a Kyler Murray show? Yes. This is it. This is the only hour we get. And at 4:00, they were going over to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament. And by the way, it's more of that sort of red zone fun. Here is who's playing at first. The Clemson is beating Arizona early. That's the
gonna
first
happen
game.
early and often. Yep.
And then at about 4:40, San Diego State and Connecticut will start. And because Arizona is getting blown out by Clemson, I'm sure they'll
lead
flip
that
over.
game.
Yeah. They'll
Yeah.
immediately go to San Diego State and
Absolutely.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
And then later on, a couple hours later, Alabama will take on number 1 North Carolina. And then a little after that, Illinois will take on Iowa State. So that is what's happening today. Tomorrow, starting with North Carolina State and Marquette, and then Gonzaga and Purdue. Later in the evening, Duke and Houston, and then Creighton and Tennessee. So that is the schedule for Thursday and Friday. And of course, we've got your games on Saturday and Sunday as well here on 1580 The Fanatic.
I understand Monday there's a game or some games, isn't there?
No, not for us.
Or is that Tuesday?
I don't know. You talking about like the NIT or something?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Tuesday, yes.
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
All right.
I don't think we're even gonna have a show Tuesday because the broadcast starts at 3:45 for the NIT.
It's too bad.
So yeah.
So there you go.
Darn. Anyway, that's what's happening, and everybody have a nice Easter on Sunday.
Right.
Yeah. We're off tomorrow for Good Friday. I became very religious when I realized it was Good Friday.
Yeah, it's a little bit dubious coming from at least 2/3 of this show.
And we could say, well, Easter Monday, well, that's really the day off.
I think we should,
but we can't. So let's not push our lucks. Anyway, that is what is happening right now. Oh, by the way, hear about Caitlin Clark. Man, she's going to make some money. She is going to make Caitlin Clark. You know her. She's the gal who's really good at basketball from University of Iowa. Well, she could be the first woman to make $5 million playing basketball. Ice Cube has offered her $5 million to play against guys in the Big Three basketball league. And that would mean 8 regular season games, possibly 2 playoff appearances. And the deal would allow her to still play in the WNBA. She's like, I don't even have to go to Russia. Hawkeyes play Colorado on Saturday in the NCAA tournament. But after the season, Caitlin is entering the WNBA draft. So in case you're wondering, the highest paid player in the WNBA last year, do you know who it was? Real quick, just guess.
Breanna Stewart.
Not a real fan, are you? Jewel Lloyd.
Oh.
She had $600,000. Wow. That just doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that's the
for the year for a professional.
That's where the money's at right now. So
even if Caitlin goes first in the draft, which everybody expects, her rookie deal would only be $76,000. Wow, this is just ridiculous. I mean,
kind of a no-brainer for her to play for Ice-T then, right? Is it
kind of feel bad?
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. I'm sorry.
Ice-T, Ice Cube.
Icy.
I mean, about
it's
roughly
the
same level of relevance right now, but
Slurpee's the female rapper.
I wouldn't give my dogs any iced tea, but I'll give them ice cubes. They do like those as treats.
Didn't know that.
I've never seen it before. 2 dogs sitting there like thrilled to death to have an ice cube. I'm like, oh, cheap date, right? Here we go. Poop, poop. There you go. I give you a treat. Aren't I something? Now they're like, oh, we love you. You know, just because of ice cube, really?
Kind of like giving a toddler a box.
Or Randy a box.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
they do interest me.
So Caitlin hasn't responded to the offer yet. Ice Cube says Caitlin is a generational athlete who can achieve tremendous success in the Big Three. With our offer, she can make history and break down even more barriers for women athletes. But there are some critics. Lexi Brown of the LA Sparks, she's angry. She's like, why haven't you ever extended this offer to a female basketball player before? She says, instead of, I don't know, supporting the women's league that already happens to exist, well, let's do this in the middle of the NCAA tournament for attention. Oh, you men are hilarious, she says.
I mean, it is a publicity stunt on the part of Ice Cube, though. I mean, the Big Three basketball league, I love basketball. I watch just about every version of the sport played. I don't watch the Big Three. It's just a lot of former NBA guys that are, you know, like, it's kind of interesting. Like if it's on and I'm at a restaurant, sure. But it's like, this guy hasn't played basketball in 7 years. Now I'm watching him in the Big Three. Okay. All right.
It's on.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I don't know how much female basketball players should get paid, but I feel like it's more than 600,000. I don't know what the ratio is for ad income, this, that, or the other. But damn, I mean, I know the ratings are garbage, and I know this is if you were to compare NBA to WNBA and all that, but still, just this does not seem right.
Yeah, and I do think because the cap has gone up over the last couple of years, just because the ratings have gone up. They've been creeping up anyway. It's not like a drastic jump, but it's been enough to where they were able to rework a TV deal with ESPN and bring in more money. So I'm sure some of those contracts will continue to go up. They've just got to keep growing the game, and somebody like Caitlin Clark's going to help you do something like that. So.
Prison Wallet says, Jeffrey, it's okay to be a feminist, but the reality is WNBA still can't stand on its own 2 feet, but give it some time. Percentage-wise, women players make more than men, and nobody has to subsidize the men's league. More players like Caitlin will come along, making the sport more exciting, and then the revenues and the salaries will go up. Okay.
Because it's not just Caitlin. I know she's getting all the headlines because of how great she's been as a scorer. And anytime you're in a conversation with Pete Maravich, obviously you're a great basketball player. But there are other players that are adding to the talent pool of that league and making it a deeper league to watch. So, like I said, against the spread, I agree. They've just got to keep growing the thing, because it can be grown to a level where there is money to pay people more.
Swazman reminds me that the NBA is 100% funding the WNBA, and the WNBA would have already folded without the NBA. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
that's fair.
We've had a few teams fold throughout the years too.
I understand the dynamics of things, but then when you hear how much they're getting paid a year, even if somebody else is sort of funding and doing it, it's kind of like,
yeah. Look, it's easy to both see why there's not enough money there, and also be shocked at how small that number is.
Yeah, and
both things can be true.
I am not helping the cause because I ain't watching it, and I'm probably not gonna. Nothing personal. Just saying.
You don't have to. When you're talking about growing a sport, it's just usually the people who have the stuff that they like to watch. That's not who you're breaking through to. You're trying to break through to people who haven't pretty much decided this is what I like, this isn't what I like. So really, kids. It's what the NFL's trying to do by being on TikTok and all these other places. It's what the NBA is trying to do. Everybody's trying to do it. WNBA's got to follow that same blueprint.
I will not be on TikTok. I will not be on Snapchat.
It's all good. You don't have to be.
What are those?
I don't know. I hear the words every now and then. I'm not sure. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. More of the Daily Blender after this. You're on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
2 games on the NBA schedule for Thursday night. The Atlanta Hawks are home to take on the Boston Celtics. Boston is 16-point favorite, minus 1,300 on the money line. Atlanta plus 810 with the over-under of 226. While the New Orleans Pelicans are taking on Milwaukee. Bucks are 1-point favorite, minus 116. New Orleans minus 102, over-under 224. NCAA basketball tournament Sweet 16. Arizona facing Clemson in Los Angeles. The Wildcats a 6.5-point favorite with an over-under of 152.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, pet parents. With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
Hi, I'm Rob Romano.
And I'm Neil Lynch.
We've been friends for over 30 years. And
Wait. It's been over 30 years?
Yep, you are that old.
Well, at least you have one friend.
Anyway, we have a show called The Weekend Warriors, Saturdays at 10 a.m.
We'll discuss national and local sports, and we'll talk about some sports that you don't hear about much.
We'll also interview local athletes, coaches, and sports-related business owners to share their stories with you.
We look forward to sharing these great stories and hanging out with you.
It's The Weekend Warriors every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Blender, and this update. Oh, there's no update. I just run Burgundy.
I did too, though, so it's all
Yeah.
good. While you were gone,
Oh, did you do the reads?
What I said was I'm Randy. And then I had to rephrase really quick and go, no, I'm Keon. That's Randy.
I don't know why anyone lets us have a job. All I know is
I oftentimes wonder the same thing.
this part of the Daily Blender is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. There is a great offer for March Madness basketball. 125% sign-up bonus for your three first deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. Go to betus.com. And don't forget, if you want to try to be the guy who measures wieners, go to my Twitter at RadioPal1580. Scroll down, you'll see the big old wiener right there, the hot dog with the ketchup on it. Click there, and it'll take you where you need to go to fill out that application. Anyhow, I want to show you a picture right now. This picture, now you remember how
It's not going
Tiger
to be a wiener, is it?
Yes, Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods and his ex-wife Aline Nordegurden.
Yep.
You remember how she
Took a
chased him,
7-iron after him.
beat
Yeah.
the hell out? Well, he's not quite recovered from it. Look at that body language right there. They're standing there at a school function, and his ex-wife is getting pictures taken.
I can't see him
with the kids. Yeah, you can.
You got to put the picture down a little bit.
Put you down a little.
There you go.
Oh, there it
There
is.
you go. Yeah.
I can't see it because it's blocking my camera.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there they are. Look at that body language where he's just first
Oh,
off,
yeah.
he's covering up his junk, just
Yep.
making sure she doesn't got that.
Yep.
And he is staying far away.
Let's say it's socially distant.
Yeah. He's and that look in his face is like, okay, please don't go crazy here. Please
Yep.
don't go
Yep.
crazy here.
She could have a golf club anywhere.
And she, listen, she wasn't crazy. She was right. He was a notorious poonhound and just not a good guy in that marriage at all. But I guess, on Tuesday, the 15-year-old son of Tiger Woods, is it
Charlie.
Chad Woods? Charlie Woods. I don't know. These days, everybody in California is named Thad. So I thought maybe it'd be Thad.
Oh.
Thad Woods. He I guess his golf team won state. So he was just there getting his, and by the way, Tiger, your kid just won state championship. Way to dress up for it. Nice pair of shorts there, don't even bother to, at least the principal's wearing a suit. Anyway, that just cracked me up. Just as like, please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
That is great body language. Hey, everybody, get away from Charlie Woods because he's not going to be as good as his dad was. You just let him be as good as he's going to be. He's pretty damn good golfer.
Yeah.
He's a very good golfer. Yeah.
If he turns out half as good as Tiger was, that's a great career.
Absolutely.
If a quarter as good is a great career.
Pineapple Express says, wait, what? Is this a visual show now? I can't see body language on the radio, Jeffrey. Well, I'm sorry. Showing him on the YouTube. Yeah.
That's why he also described him.
We got cameras on the YouTube.
He's got his junk covered up with his hands. And
and he's standing very clear. He is out of range, if you will.
I think
socially
they're-
distance is Randy.
I think they're in California. They're still socially distancing. And I'm sure that's what that is.
And that's
That
why
has
Tiger
nothing to
Woods
do-
is socially distancing from
Yeah.
the rest of his family, but specifically from
fear. Yes.
the woman who notoriously beat him up with his own golf clubs.
So there you go. If you ever want to see the stuff that we're talking about when we're showing something, then you have to go watch the YouTube video. And you can get to that. I don't know where you get to it.
Yeah.
Do a
On
search.
YouTube.
Just
15A the Fanatic.
on
Yeah.
YouTube. Well, you'll find it. Yeah.
On the tube.
Let's get caught up on the text line, 888-368-1580. We are very quickly running out of time, so I kind of feel like we're not even going to try.
I feel like the show's almost half over.
It is actually exactly half over.
Yeah, on the dot.
Where has this show gone today?
Where it usually goes, right to the toilet. Pierre says, Randy, Jeffrey, Keon, postpone my fancy French dinner tonight so I can listen to your hour-long show.
Hey, all right.
I
Thanks
hope
for
it's
being
worth
there.
it. I could eat the snails and a rabbit right now, but I'm not doing that. I'm listening to you.
Well, Pierre, they are snails. They're not moving very fast. You could probably listen to the whole hour and catch them.
Yeah, they'll still be there on the table when you get back.
Snails and rabbit. Is that a delicacy there in the Yukon?
You get little escargot.
I don't think he's in the Yukon. I think he's in
snails and rabbit.
He's in Montreal or something.
Oh, is he?
Something French. I don't know. Ralph Has Crabs says Kelly Oubre was so out of control yesterday that he even called Randy's mom a bitch, and she's been dead for like 30 years.
Well, that's true. Yeah, and you keep my mom's mouth. You keep my mom out of your mouth. My mom's mouth out of your mouth.
That was an unfortunate.
Yep.
Oh my God. Yeah. You don't bring up Randy's mom.
Yeah.
How dare you? Or her mouth.
Or her mouth.
Just
keep her mouth out of your mouth.
Her name and her mouth. Damn it.
That's right.
Brunswick guy says,
keep my mom's mouth out of your name.
Isn't Ice Cube currently on the run from the feds for sex trafficking? Oh no, that's Diddley.
That's Diddy.
That's Diddy. That's Diddle.
Diddley.
That's Diddley.
That's probably more accurate.
Diddle Combs.
The hell?
What's so crazy to me is that the FBI was on their way to his house and he was already gone when they got there. And this man didn't have the decency to tell his own sons, hey, by the way, FBI's coming through.
Heads up.
They will not be knocking. So maybe just don't be there when. Nope. Didn't tell him anything.
Yep.
Just was in the air doing an Instagram live from his private jet.
Well, I'm sure Diddy was like, I got caught in the act, so my son should too. So that's what he
and so he was.
Fifth letter. Let's see what he has to say. He says, "Hi guys." Yeah, okay. That's not all he said, but it's all I'm reading.
Hi, fifth letter. How are you?
He thinks the Lakers are getting hot at the right time, and he says, "Indiana, you punks are next." That's what he says.
They seem to be. Well, you can't deny it.
I mean, part of it is that you have the fifth easiest schedule in basketball,
Well,
but sure,
there's
getting
that.
hot is what it is.
And it's taken you 2 overtimes the other night to win that game. So
you only have the Wizards, Raptors, Grizzlies, and Nets coming up. But sure, getting hot.
that
doesn't
is a
seem
murderer's
fair.
row right there. Boy, wow.
Pineapple Express says, "Okay, thanks, Jeffrey. I'll look at the YouTube." He says, "How about Facebook Live?" Oh, well, we put links to it on the 1580 The Fanatic Twitter and Facebook. So I guess that's what I should have said. Go there and you can find it. Yeah. Go to the Twitter for @1580 The Fanatic or the Facebook @1580 The Fanatic. That's where those places are. So, hey, you know how I don't like the red zone in the NFL? I don't care for it. I know a lot of people love it.
Yeah.
I like to watch an entire game. So
yes,
I'll have all the games on their little screens and stuff, and then I'll click on it if I want to see what's going on. But usually I'll focus on one game, and I like to see it front to back, start to finish. That's the way it should be. And for me, I know other people have ADHD and attention spans of a gnat. That's cool.
And I also only have 2 screens, so usually my main game is on one screen, and then the other one's got the red zone.
That makes sense.
And then if that game looks more interesting than the one I'm watching, I might jump to that one.
You ever get mad when your main game is on red zone at the same time, and then like,
oh yeah, because it's just a waste of screens.
Even worse is it's on the red zone and it's ahead of the screen on your main
That
screen.
that is much worse.
Spoilers. Well, I guess not because I'm watching this one here. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, okay, yeah. So whether you like the red zone or you don't like the red zone for the NFL, there is I think a perfect use of that thought process and technology. NBC has decided for the Summer Olympics, you're going to get the gold zone. It's the same thing as the red zone, but it's for the Olympics. So you can watch that, and if something interesting is happening, they'll cut away to another thing. You're like, hey, I hope it's only about the Americans, though. You know what I mean? Like, we want to see how the Americans are doing. Hey, American over here has just done a thing. Oh, geez, let's see that. I think that's the way to go.
That would be the red, white, and blue zone.
Yeah. Well, it's the gold zone because hopefully we're winning gold.
Hopefully you're winning gold.
I mean, if it's about Americans, I was just going to say there.
This is winter or this is Summer Olympics, right?
I think it's summer.
I think it's summer because is it Jakari? She the female sprinter? She's going to be running this year.
Okay, Jakari Richardson. Yeah. Because she couldn't run the last one.
So here's who's going to be running the gold zone. It's going to be Scott Hansen, Andrew Siciliano, Matt Eisman, Akbar. I'm not even trying that last name. If you know him, you don't need it. It's Akbar
Right.
G.
If you know, you know.
Of
course it is. Spot on.
Yeah, I feel like I nailed it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty good. I think that, listen, I can't sit there and just watch hours and hours and flip channels to try to find where is this event, where's that event. I just don't have it in me. But if you want to show me a gold zone where it flips around for me and shows me cool things that are happening, I might actually have that on every now and then. You know,
around coverage.
Yeah, I feel like it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because if there's an event that you're interested in, you get to see it. And if there's one that's not interesting, you're not there too long.
Now, are they going to have the old standards, though? The
7,000 channels of NBC owned channels with the Olympics? Yeah,
well,
probably.
that's not what I was going to say, but are they going to have the track and field events and, the things that the big rating makers for them?
I have no idea. No idea what it's going to be.
Or is it just going to be, condensed into whip around coverage? And now let's go to the equestrian events.
I don't know. I think it's going to be whip around coverage. Whatever's happening that I guess is interesting. I mean, I'm going to trust them with this. And if I don't like it, I'll just never watch it again. Hey, Randy, you like the NASCAR, and that NASCAR started with moonshiners, running from Johnny Law.
Yep.
And I
From the
guess
G-Men.
at North Wilkesboro Speedway, people have been saying, there used to be a moonshine underneath the stands here. They used to make moonshine, but it's all cemented in so that nobody could ever. Well, I guess they were doing an inspection and they were able to lift something, and they're like, oh my God, they did. There was a moonshine cave under the stands.
Yeah, still under there.
Yeah, no, it's still there. Yeah. Anyway, and it's one of the original NASCAR tracks in North Carolina. I thought that was fascinating.
Isn't that funny?
Make a museum thing out of that.
Oh, I think they ought to revamp that and make that a museum piece. Absolutely, they should. Yeah.
Was there still some moonshine in the still?
Oh, I don't think so. No, probably just the equipment and to have a moonshine,
crank that up.
Have a still going. You've got to have a water supply really close by. A lot of those stills. I mean, they're built right there by next to a creek. So I wonder if there was some sort of a fresh water supply going under the racetrack somewhere.
Well,
Like
North
a fresh
Carolina
spring.
is a very, very moist area.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I know. I've been there. It's very moist.
It's very sweaty.
Very
I don't know why my mom moved there.
humid.
That's just so weird. Why would she
Well,
want
it's
to move
got the
there?
Four Seasons. It's beautiful.
And
You've
the
got
hotels are nice. Yeah.
The
And if
hotels are
you-
beautiful. It's
And she didn't
it's
stay
a-
at the Four Seasons. She actually got at a condo.
well,
Yeah, and if you
and there it is. I
if
mean,
you make it through the summer and all the humidity there, it's a lovely place to
well, I mean, you don't have to go outside, but it's.
This is going to be her first summer.
I don't think it's going to be too bad.
I
Your
got-
mom's a
it could be
smart
worse
woman.
because like the Carolinas on the coast, so
Yep.
you get a little less humidity than if you were in like Georgia.
I already have a plan. When she comes flying to me, when there's a hurricane coming, I'm just not going to let her go back.
Now, is she in the Charlotte area? What
Yes.
part of?
She's
in, like-
exactly in Charlotte.
okay. All right. Well, that's not too bad. The
I think.
hurricanes through there are not a devastating thing. They're not. They're like our thunderstorms.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you live in like central North Carolina, you're probably okay.
My plan is if she comes to visit or if she comes to escape a hurricane, I'm not letting her go back.
Mm.
I'm going to keep her captive.
But that's called kidnapping. But sure,
Is it when it's your mom?
Yes, it still
Could
is.
be.
If
I don't think
if she
that's
wants
true.
to go
I
home
have
and you
stories
don't
of
let her,
my mom's family tried to get me on kidnapping charges when we were taking care of my mom. So
I
before
just
she
keep
died.
telling her that the flights are good. Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. They got canceled.
That's the way to
They
do
canceled
it.
the flight again.
Yeah.
Sorry. Did you buy a ticket? Oh, see, I knew I was forgetting something.
Yeah.
I promise I'll get one tomorrow, Mom. Get one tomorrow. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll try to keep her here as long as I can. Anyways, we got to take a break. We come back. We've got On This Date in Big George's sports history and more of the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Phoenix area attorneys. Scott Trout, licensed in Missouri, Illinois, and Georgia only. CordellCordell.com.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through March 31st. Great shopping, a giant crafts market, new shows featuring sea fairies, mermaids, and merriment.
Non-stop feasting and more.
The Renaissance Festival is back.
Weekends now through March 31st. Discount tickets available at Bashes and Food City or ArizonaRenfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashes, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
1580 The Fanatic.
It's the Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and right back to the March Mania with the Sweet 16. And listen up, everybody. BetUS.com. You got to get over to that site. Get to BetUS.com. They've been driving to the basket for over 30 years, and this year BetUS has an epic three-pointer. It's a 125% sign-up bonus on your first three deposits. That is right, the industry's craziest 125% sign-up bonus on your first three deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started by visiting BetUS.com or give them a call at 1-800-MY-BETUS. That is BetUS, where the game begins. And the games will begin here on 1580 The Fanatic in 15 minutes. So we don't have time to talk about anything substantive. I do want to show you this. This is what the Berg was talking about yesterday. Hot dog water from 7-Eleven. A hot dog water sparkling. I think it might be their April Fool's joke. That might be their April Fool's joke.
They're a little early.
Well, they say it comes out next Monday.
Oh, okay. So
which is April Fool's Day. So yeah, they say they have a bunch of different brands. They got lemon lime, green apple, sweet orange, and hot dog. So it turns out that's a real thing. So 888-368-1580. Noah says, hey, I'm going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina this week. Maybe I can visit your mom, Jeffrey. It's a good way to get dead. That's all I'm going to say about that. Screaming Eagle says, Hey, Jeffrey, I heard your dinnertainment commercial, and a bunch of us went to the Peoria location. It was fantastic. It's just like the Scottsdale location.
Well, that's great.
Thanks for going out there. I do appreciate that, Screaming Eagle. I have no doubt it's just as good, but I haven't been out there yet, so I want to visit the Peoria. That's right by your house, isn't it, Randy? Kind of.
It is. It is relatively close.
Well, you got to get out there.
Yes, I do.
I mean, once there's a location in Queen Creek, I'm going to be there all the time.
Well, I need to get out there. I haven't had a chance to go and partake yet.
You must partake. It is so good.
I need to do that. Yeah.
Fifth letter says Tar Heels and Cyclones money line tonight. Lock it. Okay.
Boy, I hope not.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You're a Lakers fan, so I have a hard time locking it just because you say to. Against the spread says lock it. Well, then I'm about to pop it and lock it. Wait, it's not the same thing, is it?
Pop and lock. I think that is
pop it and lock it.
I think that is a game. Pop it and lock it. That's what
that is.
Whip it, bang it, pop it,
that is a
lock it.
dance.
You think this is a game?
You pop and lock. That's
I pop and lock.
I thought it was a game. You're like, hit it,
Wait,
slap
a
it,
dance?
pop it, lock it.
No, that's bop.
Turn it.
Bop and lock?
That was just but no, you pop and lock.
Sorry,
that's a dance.
Did you listen to Kids Bop when you were younger?
No. No.
Good.
I was already in like high school when it came out. It was.
What about 1-800-CARS for kids? Oh,
we've all been subjected to that. That's not exclusive. That's
let me tell you, they will be featured in hell.
That's
how you know.
Wasn't that a joke on The Good Place?
Was it really?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
When they're in the bad place and one of the demons goes, yeah, that guy's just in there hearing the 1-800-CARS for Kids song over and over again.
Oh, you're right. I remember. I thought they said, yeah, we created that. That's right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. But no, that's a good way to know you're in hell. Is if all you hear is that song in the background somewhere. Oof. Everybody better act right, or you're gonna hear 1-800-CARS for Kids. Oh, Jesus.
But it's hell, so you'll be back to hear it again the next day.
Oh,
eternal punishment.
I don't even want to think about that. Don't even want to think about it. So tonight on 1580 The Fanatic, here's the action you've got. Number 6 Clemson beating Arizona
handily,
bitches, and San Diego State. They are number 5 taking on number 1 Connecticut. Basically, no chance in hell, right, Keon?
I can't say that.
I can. No chance in hell.
I would take UConn and have, but. No, I can't say no chance in hell in a tournament.
How about no
we
chance in
March
1-800-CARS for Kids? No chance.
We call this tournament March Madness for a reason. I just can't say that.
Yeah.
Bama looking to take on North Carolina. That's going to end badly for Bama, right?
Most likely. North Carolina is real good.
This is one where, could go either way. The Fighting Illini taking on the Iowa State, right? That is the Fighting Illini, Illinois.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you got?
I've got Iowa State, actually.
Well, they are number 2.
They are number 2, but also just when they started getting hot is kind of important in the whole thing. And I think that they started at the right time.
Then tomorrow, number 11, who let you guys in here? North Carolina State taking on number 2 Marquette. Well, how did number 11 get this far?
Boy, they, like Keon says, they've been playing good basketball over the past month and a half. So
is it going to hold up, or do you think Marquette's going to win this?
I think it could hold up. I mean,
really?
Yeah, they've been great. And they're playing, no pressure. I think they know they're playing with house money. They had no business winning the ACC tournament and went on that run. So
yeah.
Then you got number 5 Gonzaga taking on number 1 Purdue. Purdue's going to
Purdue handles that one.
I think Purdue could handle it, but we're talking about another team that's just really hot at the right time. In Gonzaga got their stuff together, and here they are.
Yeah, but Purdue's got Jake Edey. He's like 18 feet tall.
He is.
Yeah, but
I'm pretty sure that's close.
Is that the metric system, or is it Imperial?
I think that's Imperial. I think he's 18 feet.
The thing, though, is that Zach Edey by himself
12 stones high.
Make Purdue
They
win.
Still use stone?
I think so. In the Imperial, I think it's you use stones, isn't it?
I don't know how that works, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if the guards don't play well at Purdue, doesn't matter what Zach Edey does. So they've got to play well.
Sun Devil Raul says, "Hey guys, I picked ISU to win it all."
I can understand that. I really can.
What about Dookie versus Houston? Number 4 Dookie taking on number 1 Houston.
I've got Houston. I just think that Houston is incredibly versatile. I think their defense is top tier and depends on how the game's officiated. But if they're allowed to play physical, I think this is over for Duke.
And then number 3 Creighton and number 2 Tennessee.
Creighton. They're a more consistent scoring team. They're a better shooting team from deep. But Tennessee surprised me with how they've showed up in this tournament. So I want to give them credit, but I'm taking Creighton.
So who do you have on your real bracket? I actually had the Val bracket, but then I did the real bracket, and I got UConn finishing it. Who do you have?
Houston.
Okay, so who do you have, Randy, on yours?
UConn.
Copycat. You always do that.
I never once looked at your bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Not one time I look at your bracket.
Okay. All right. Well,
I don't think Randy's looked at his own bracket since, much less yours.
Did he even look at his bracket when he filled it out?
Well, Randy said it took him
it
7
depends
minutes.
on what you define as looking at.
And he just is like hitting buttons like a bird on the keyboard. Just bouncing his face up and down on it. Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm in my real bracket, which is, by the way, is Radio Station Fanatic. That's the one I filled out for real. And I'm in 51st place, tied with the Berg and Radio Ron and Randy. You're there. But I have a 168 max possible points I can get. Ron has 164. Randy, you only have 144. So everything has to go your way.
Yeah, I think I'm done tonight. So it was a good run. And quite frankly, I don't care.
Yeah. Yes, exactly my sentiments about the whole thing. Exactly. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
The historian says stones is a measure of weight. A hand is a measure of height. I am 12 stones high and I weigh a couple of hands. That was just to bug him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1913, the St. Louis Browns traded Buzzy Wares to the Montgomery Rebels in exchange for the rent-free use of the minor leagues team stadium during spring training. Southern Association Class A team will return the 26-year-old infielder to St. Louis later in the season because they didn't like him. Back to me, Jeffrey.
No kidding.
Yeah, like, you just take him back. We're tired of looking at him. We don't need. I would hate to be traded. Like
for the use of a field
or a plane or a bus. That there have been trades that have had that sort of thing. I don't think I would want to be traded for utensils. I don't know. I mean, there's
for utensils.
You've got to trade me for at least a living being. You can't trade me for work tools.
Yeah. We got
trade me for a fax machine. Get out of here.
We got we have a nice bunch of cubicles. God, that sounds good. Yeah, we could use those.
I like the
Brian,
sales bullpen there. Yeah.
Bring your playbook. You're getting traded. It's like, great.
It's like the modern version of that is when a player gets traded for cash considerations. It's just really.
Well, I don't mind the cash. At least like you paid for. Paid. You had to pay to get me over here.
I don't know, man. Swap me for an entire person. Don't
I got swapped for money. That's better than Staples,
Well, I mean, I was when I began there at CRC Broadcasting, I actually played for Money Radio, but I got traded to the Fanatic.
That is true. That is true.
I had I did the show on Money there for several years. The guy in the afternoons that had the horn
for years.
Yeah,
you did that for years.
It was like 2 years, I think I did.
Wow,
the cat that had the horn.
No wonder you have like trauma.
Well,
just there was a guy who'd come in and talk about money and be like, "Oh, hold on a second, I got a trumpet."
Literally start playing a song.
What the hell are you doing, man?
And then he would start talking about investment.
He's like, I don't understand why people aren't calling. I don't get it. Why aren't they taking me serious? Should take me seriously. I want to give me your money. I'll help.
Yeah. Let me grab my alto saxophone here. Play a little Kenny G.
Yeah, well, because of course nothing says that this guy is qualified to manage my funds.
I just don't get it.
Quite like playing the trumpet like Dizzy Gillespie.
He had two moves. He'd play a little trumpet, pick up a phone. Oh, there's a dial tone. It's working. Okay, it is working. Why aren't they calling? Did you test that line? Did you test the line?
Can you call and check the test the line, please? Again. It's true story. True story right there.
I had no idea that you did that for 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that sounds terrible. I feel like we owe you something.
Then Ron made the trade to get me out of there.
Yeah. Thank God.
Well, the rest, as we say, is history.
Well, we're history, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow's Good Friday. We won't be here, but we'll be back on Monday. Enjoy the Sweet 16. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.